Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Slayer Talk. My name is Spike. With me, as always, is my wife Buffy. How you doing today?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It's November 30th, 1999, and we watched Something Blue.
It was a very interesting episode.
I think it was weird that they throughout the entire episode they played that I'm blue, I'm a need of my mind.
They did?
No. Yeah, it was played really low throughout the entire episode. I'm blue. But it was more like So anyone know how that song goes?
I'm blue. I'm in need of a guide.
Is that what it is? I'm in need of a guide?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
They're the alien. They're looking for a guide.
Is that how you interpret that song?
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you know the name of the artist?
I
think it's Eiffel something.
I don't know.
65 or something like that.
I have no idea. But
why do you think this episode is called Blue?
it's not called Blue. It's called Something Blue.
Something Blue. Something Blue.
Because they're talking about a wedding. Something borrowed, something blue.
Oh.
Something old, something new.
And I guess that's, the wedding thing I didn't get. But that's, I guess that's Willow is the Something Blue.
Oh, yeah. I didn't put that piece together there, so yeah.
Huh. I'm blue. I'm in need of a guide, huh? Mm-hmm. All right. Because because at the beginning they're like, he lives in a blue world or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. The only parts that are not, I'm blue. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Anyway. So we watched Something Blue.
Yeah, we watched.
It's a Willow story.
It's not a Willow story.
Kind of.
There's a bit of Willow in the background making
a bit of Willow
making things move along, but I wouldn't say it was all Willow focused. It was the chaos and havoc she wrought.
I think the emotional crux of the story is a Willow emotional crux.
So yeah,
she's sad about Osbert or whatever his name was.
Oz, yeah, of course she is. I mean, he left her. He cheated on her, and then he left her.
He did. I did kind of forget about that. He fucked that other wolf.
Mm-hmm. Why is that funny to you? What is up with you today?
It's a funny sentence.
He's been in a weird mood today.
It's just a funny sentence to say he fucked that other wolf. What a cheater. Can you imagine trying to explain that to what happened to your last relationship? Oh, he fucked a wolf.
Yeah, you might not put it that way. Yeah, Buffy and Xander, I believe, start out the episode walking and talking in the cemetery.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that part, yeah.
And they're complaining about Willow.
It's Willow, I thought.
What?
Wasn't it Willow and Buffy talking about, getting over things, or no?
Oh, was it?
I don't remember.
Maybe it was. I don't know. Buffy was talking to somebody in the cemetery, and she staked a vampire.
Well, yeah, and because she mentions very casually the adventure she had on Angel, an hour earlier or whatever.
Yeah, she's like, it hurt to see Angel in L.A.
Even for 5 minutes. It was more than 5 minutes.
What the fuck? We should have watched Angel, but we did ask our friend who watched it. And apparently, it sounds like they had sex.
Yeah. Sounds like a good episode. Angel becomes human, has sex with Buffy, realizes that he can't fight demons anymore if he's not a vampire. So he's like, oh, fuck this. I want to be a vampire again. Yep. So then he has, turn back time. Oh, maybe that's why she said only 5 minutes. Because, she doesn't remember fucking him because they turned back time.
Oh my god, yeah, she probably doesn't remember the night. Probably neither one of them do. They got a bonus night that they don't even remember.
Right.
Bummer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Buffy's a little sad about Angel, I guess. Mm-hmm. But that's all she says about it.
Yeah, that's the only... Like, Angel's done now. She's got his own show.
And then...
Angel exists in his own space now.
Yeah. And then Riley asks her on a date for a picnic, but in this really fucked up way.
Well, because he thinks he already asked her. And then he
So
was
funny.
like, oh... Did I not say that out loud, or was that just something I was preparing to say?
Just
like,
something I practiced.
She's like, what?
He's like, you wouldn't believe how much preparation goes into our conversations or something like that.
It's like, that's what every girl wants to hear.
Right? And he's like, well, I mean, talking to you is like, navigating a battlefield or something. Like, yeah, I mean, he wasn't being very complimentary there. And he said it in a way that made it sound like a compliment, where he's like, oh shit, I don't remember I remember saying out loud, like, that's not a compliment. But
I don't know. He thought he just basically just saying how he's nervous around her.
yeah, which, I mean, I guess the fact that she makes him nervous, he thinks is a compliment, but to be that nervous or feel like a woman is that complicated or whatever, that's not confusing.
Yeah.
That's what he said, she's confusing. That's not good. You don't want that.
Right.
No, nobody wants to be confusing or mysterious or whatever.
And then he asks, or then he ends, well, we end the scene with him saying, so picnics, they're cool, huh? like that's the beginning of his conversation of asking her out to a picnic.
So then she's talking to Willow, and she's excited about the picnic they're going to go on.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think you're right.
And she's like, all I have to do is show up and eat, and I'm good at both of those things.
Mm-hmm. And then we go to Spike still being captured. Mm-hmm. And they're interrogating him, trying to find out something about the army men.
Yeah, they want to know who they were.
And he doesn't know. Like, they're talking about, like, oh, we should do a fucking truth serum on him or whatever. We should, like, something or whatever. Like, they think he's for sure not telling them everything he knows. Why wouldn't he be?
Why do you think he knows anything? He doesn't know anything. I thought he did.
He doesn't know. He knows. I mean, what he said is basically all that we saw. It was underground. He was in a cage. He escaped. What else does he know?
Well, he saw their faces.
He did not.
Oh. I thought he did.
I don't think he did.
Okay.
Although he does say, when I tell you everything, he does kind of intimate that he's holding back, even though I don't really think he is. Because he's like, how long will I live or whatever? And Giles is like, we have no interest in killing you.
You know what, though? Like, they point out they don't think he really wants to be freed. Mm-hmm. I agree. Because he can't feed. They're feeding him.
Yeah.
So I think that he's much happier being kept by them and fed than wandering around homeless.
Like a pet.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'd rather be a house cat than a wild cat.
Well, because he's declawed.
Yeah.
So.
He is declawed.
At one point, though, he is able to shove Giles. So that gives me pause. Like, what does this do exactly?
I don't think he can bite the necks.
That's it, though? I mean, he could do a lot of damage without biting.
Yeah.
So.
She was, at one point, she was like almost sexually teasing him.
Yeah. She's like, oh, look at my neck.
It's so subtle and
exposed.
And the blood pumping and stuff. And he's like, oh my God.
And he's like, make her stop.
They do have this like weird, like fighty relationship.
Mm-hmm. They have interesting chemistry.
They do.
That we'll see in the episode.
Yeah. So, from there, Willow is talking to Buffy about like her heartache and everything. Everyone like behind her back is complaining about like how fucked up she is.
Yeah.
She's also they go to the Bronze, and she for once acts like okay, but then we find out it's because she's drunk. Which,
okay, who hasn't gotten drunk when they've had a heartbreak? Like,
I know, and like Buffy's like, oh, let's not forget, fucking I drank in like million years BC or whatever, and it's like, let's reference that terrible episode. And in this much better episode.
And that's not like what happens to every person who drinks, so why
Correct.
are you bringing that up?
Yeah, it makes no sense. It's like you drank magical beer or whatever that reverted you to a cave person, and that's your stance on drinking now?
Don't drink, it'll turn you into a cave woman.
Yeah, suddenly Willow's not going to know what television is.
And Willow is very...
Philo Farnsworth's invention.
Willow's very mean to Xander.
Yeah.
What the fuck did she say to... I don't remember, but she said something terrible to him, and that's when Buffy's like, I'm going to get you out of here while you still have friends or something.
She said, because Xander was like, hey, you know, like, I know it hurts and everything, but we all have hurts, you know, that we have to get over.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, like, I'm living in a fucking basement, my parents' house, boo-hoo, like, your problems mean anything or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, very bitchy. Very bitchy.
But she does, like, she goes to Xander's room and everything's been taken out of it.
No, Oz.
Oz, that's what I meant. Oz's room. So it's like she knows he sent for his stuff because I guess he's permanently gone or gone at least for as long as the filming schedule is for whatever movie he's making.
Right.
Do you really think he's gone for good? Like we won't ever see Oz again?
I don't know. He took his things. So that's not a great sign.
But I understand that. But I mean, like, I don't mean character-wise. I mean, like, do you think Seth Green's going to return?
I don't know. I didn't think we were going to see Angel again, and we did, so who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like he was, like, kind of a part of it, and, like, I don't know. I feel like he's going to come back.
Maybe.
Permanently at some point.
I could see him coming back, but I don't think it'll be permanent, because really? I can't imagine him and Willow together again.
No, I don't think they'll get together again.
And I don't see how he could be back after hurting her like that.
Unless he's a boyfriend. Interesting. Anyway, so maybe they'll kill him. Maybe he'll come back as a wolf. They'll kill him.
Maybe.
So she's all upset and everything and decides that she's going to do a spell.
Because she wants to make the pain stop, and she thinks that she can will the pain to stop with a spell.
Well, her name is Willow.
So dumb. Like, I'm sure there are better spells for this than My Will Be Done or whatever this was.
Yeah, this was stupid. Like, there's not a heart healing spell or something like a heartbreak healing spell or something like that. Yeah, she sits in a pentagram and does this spirit or this thing of, like, everything I, like, will shall be done kind of thing. That's pretty fucking powerful power to give herself.
And then she's upset because it's not working, because after she does the spell, she's like, she has a bent Q-tip. She's like, I will it to be unbendy.
Why does it only work sometimes?
I think when it works, it's when she's having emotion.
Yeah. When she really is like, Argh.
Although, at one point, like, she turns the rat girl back to human and the rat again, and she wasn't even aware she was doing that or meaning to do that. Or,
yeah.
So I don't know.
And that's something that happens in this episode. So I remember asking, like, is that girl still a rat? And she is.
She is still a rat, and Willow had the power to turn her human, and it happened when no one was looking, and she went right back to being a rat again.
She was human for a second, and she looked so happy, and then she's like, and they got that actress back just to do that. But, yeah, it's fucked up. Like, she's been a rat for, like, almost 2 seasons.
Yeah, like, put some energy and time into figuring that shit out, Willow.
No shit.
Not cool. And Giles checks on her because, you know, he's worried about her because she's so upset and she's doing magic, and he's like, it's not a good idea to combine the two.
When you're so upset and everything.
Because things can go wrong.
She's like, you don't see anything, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then her eyes shine, and that means that will be done.
And then he starts getting a headache, and apparently his vision's blurry, but it takes like a really long time. He eventually goes blind, but it takes a long time.
Yeah, because if he went blind immediately, then they'd know what was going on immediately.
Yeah.
And they can't have that.
Everything else was immediate.
Yeah, exactly. And then everything else throughout the entire episode is basically just like Willow speaking loosely and things just happening because of that.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Because she goes to Xander and she's talking to him. So first of all, Buffy's like, I gotta go find Spike or whatever. Because Spike escapes. Because what?
Oh yeah, because Giles can't see.
Yeah, Giles can't see and he drops the key. So Spike shoves him and escapes, and Buffy's like, I gotta go find him. Because Giles calls. And she's like, what the fuck? And so Buffy leaves. And she's like, I bet you find him in 2 seconds. He's just standing out there. And then immediately they're both together outside. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, well, that was sooner than I thought it would be.
Yeah, and then he's like looking for the entrance to the military people.
And he thinks he found it. But he tries to dig at the ground and no one's there.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that easy.
No. So that's another thing she wills to be done. But then she's talking to Xander about how like she's pissed because she's like, Buffy should be a better friend or whatever. And like she wants to be with Spike all the time or whatever. And he's like, look, this stuff that you're mad about, it's about Oz. It's not about Buffy. It's not about me. Like, you're not angry at us. You're angry about Oz. You're taking it out on us. And she goes, what the fuck would you know? Look at your love life. She's like, praying mantis woman that laid eggs or whatever, that we never came back to that. And like, she just goes through like all the different people. She's like, and now Anya, you're a fucking demon magnet.
Mm-hmm. And she says, and if Buffy likes Spike so much, she should marry him.
Mm-hmm. So. She's brought Spike back to Giles's place.
Buffy has.
Buffy, to imprison him once again. But instead, Giles comes out, and Spike is on one knee in front of her.
Yup, he is proposing, and she says yes, and they're so in love. There's even a ring. I don't know where the ring came from.
Yeah, some kind of skull ring or something.
Yeah. And
he got it from a box of Cracker Jacks.
It is the most funny episode I think I've ever seeing the two of them together.
It is like it was much more of a comedy, and there were so many like funny lines where, like Buffy's like, "Did you see the ring?" and Giles was like, "Just barely, thank God," or whatever. Like, and then, the other thing that happens because these storylines collide pretty quickly. The other thing that happens is because she said that Xander was a demon magnet, he and Anya are alone in his room about to get busy, and demons start breaking in because they're all attracted to Xander now. And so he runs away. They run to Giles's house, and like conveniently the demons kind of stop coming at that point. Do you remember any other demons at that point until they start running from the house?
No.
Yeah. So it's like we get a break in the action. But they're like, Giles is like, I'm going blind or whatever, and Buffy's like, I'm in love with Spike, and Xander's like, can I be blind too?
Yeah, because they're like making out. And it's funny, like, they're arguing about things like a couple. Like, he says something about her mom, and just, don't talk about my mother.
Right.
Like,
she mentions Angel's name at one point. He was like, you said you weren't going to mention that name. Oh, what kind of pictures would Angel want at the wedding?
Right.
What kind of flowers would Angel want at the wedding?
And they're literally sitting there with, like, a notebook and a pen and, like, planning a wedding. It is fucking hilarious.
Where should we register, she says. She's like, what about an outdoor wedding? And he was like, well, then you'd have to register as Mr. and Mrs. Pile of Ash. She's like, no, under a tree. Like, shade, no direct sunlight. He's like, one summer breeze.
Mr. and Mrs. Pile of Ash.
Yeah. They are funny together, the two of them.
Yeah.
They bring out the comedic timing in each other, I think. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so they get together at Giles and they figure out Xander's like, oh, I know. She said I'm a demon magnet and that you two should get married, and Giles is like, yeah, and she said I should be blind or whatever.
I can't see anything. I couldn't see anything yet.
So they figure out that it's Willow's thing and they have to stop it somehow.
But they don't do any, like, Willow figures it out without them, I believe, because at one point she just was like there and she's like, "Hey guys," but I don't remember where she came from when that happened.
I do.
Okay, tell us.
So, first of all, before that happens, they go out to the magic shop to get stuff to reverse the spell, but Buffy gets distracted by seeing a wedding dress, and so she starts looking at it, and Riley comes up.
Oh, God, yeah.
And he's like, hey, what's up? And she's like, oh, it's a cool wedding dress. And she's like, she's like, oh, we can still be friends, Riley. I'm sorry. And he's like, what are you talking about?
But I want you there on the day.
What day? She's like, I'm getting married.
To who?
Oh, you'd love him or whatever. Blah, blah. What's his name? Spike.
You're marrying a guy named Spike?
Right. That is weird.
Oh, that was another question. She's like, should on the invitation, should we say Spike or William the Bloody? Oh my God.
So he's all disappointed, obviously. But they go to get Willow because they're like, we need Willow to help us with the witchcraft or whatever. And there's this like giant char because a demon has abducted her, we see. And Anya's with them, and luckily she knows. She's like, it's fucking this demon.
The one that turned Anya into...
The vengeance demon, yeah. He's like, you must want to turn her into a vengeance demon. So she's like...
Well, there is a job opening.
Right, exactly. So they're trying to figure out where to go to like I don't know, summon him or something like that so they can talk to him, so they can get Willow. But the demons finally find them again and start chasing them and chase them into this crypt in the cemetery scene that they own.
Which Buffy mentions would be a great place for pictures.
Mm-hmm. So Anya's trying to figure out the incantation and she can't remember it to get to him. And the demons are trying to break in, and Spike's like, I don't know if I can protect you. And she's like, I don't need you to protect me. Mm-hmm. And then But
that's another thing. He says, I can't fight.
Mm-hmm.
What are the rules? What are the rules?
I don't know.
He can't fight monsters, but he can shove Giles to the ground.
I don't know. Well, he can't. He can, like, because he hits her at one point before they're in love or whatever. When she captures him in the field, he hits her, but it causes him pain. So he punches her, and then he's like, or whatever like that, and she's able to subdue him. So maybe he pushed Giles, even though it caused like pain for him.
Or maybe he didn't really hurt Giles when he pushed him, so it didn't cause him pain.
Maybe, yeah. I feel like he can hit through pain, but like he wouldn't be able to feed through pain because, like, even like trying to bite, like.
Is excruciating.
It's too much pain. Yeah, that's my guess. I don't fully know. I don't know that the rules are incredibly clearly delineated. But we go to Willow and the demon, and the demon's like, "I want you to. We've been watching you, and I don't care about your friends, and I think you're great, and you've hurt them so much, and your vengeance is the best." And she's like, "I don't want that." He's like, "You don't." She's like, no, I don't want to be a vengeance demon. I don't want you to turn me into a vengeance demon. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Here's my token. Give me a call if you change it.
Yep.
Or talisman.
Yeah, talisman.
He gives her his talisman. Like, hey, just give me a call, if you change your mind. Like he's an agent.
And then he just releases her back.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, he's not even like a mean demon or whatever. He's just like, I wanted to you had so much vengeance. I was interested.
So then she's just like, oh, hey, guys. She just shows up there. Like, I think that's where she lands when he lets her go.
Yeah, and she understands somehow that she did all this.
Well, because he showed her.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, this is what your work has
Oh, that's right.
done.
She watched the episode. I forgot.
Yeah. So she knows she hurt her friends with her magic.
So then she undoes it. She's like, oh, my will not be done, actually. Reverse, please. Uno, reverse, please. And the spell's like, oh, okay.
And Buffy and Spike were literally making out on the ground when that happened.
I knew that's how it was gonna be.
So then they're like, ew, 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 I've got Slayer in my mouth.
So then she's baking cookies to make up for it.
Yeah, Willow's baking cookies, and she has to do something for Giles. I can't remember what it was to make up for him being
Detail
blind.
his car.
Yeah. But she's like, I'm just going to keep making cookies so I don't feel guilty anymore. And Spike asked for a cookie. So apparently vampires can eat.
I guess.
They just don't have to.
Right.
And he's like, please, I've still got Slayer taste in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Slayer's
shove a
spit.
cookie in his mouth.
Right.
And he's tied up again.
Right. So he's their prisoner again. He's the domesticated cat again. And who knows how long that's going to last.
Yeah.
But he is in the opening credits now, which is...
That was a thing, yeah.
Which is interesting. So I don't know what's going to go on with that. Is he going to be the new Oz? Is he going to be part of the gang again?
Maybe.
Or not again, but, is he going to be a new addition to the gang?
That would be weird. I can't imagine it would last long. I mean, he is...
It's weird.
He is evil.
But yeah, so that's pretty much the episode except for the last little bit where she's like, oh my God, fucking Riley thinks I'm engaged. And so she goes to talk to him and she's like, he goes, so you're not engaged? She's like, no, like when you saw me looking at that dress, I saw the fear in your eyes, so I just had to mess with you. He's like, so you made up that you were marrying a dude named Spike to mess with me? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, so you're crazy? She's like, yeah.
And he's like, okay.
All right, but you're single though, crazy and single. She's like, yep.
And then he looked very much like he was going to kiss her, but he didn't.
Yeah,
He should have kissed her.
I guess. Yeah,
Have they kissed yet? I don't think so.
I thought they did.
Okay.
Once maybe. I don't know.
She kissed Spike a lot.
Yeah, she did kiss Spike a lot in this episode. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really funny, interesting. It dealt with, it doesn't necessarily advance the overall plot of the season, but it was a really good, fun episode.
Yeah.
And we get some more character dynamic of Willow and Anya and Xander and Buffy and Spike.
And Riley.
And blind Giles.
Yeah. I mean, it was a really good character episode.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. But that is the episode for the week, Carol. Tell people where they can find their own magic wish demon.
You can write us at latefee1994@aol.com.
Mm-hmm.
Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
All right, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.